In this video, we're going to show you how to replace a cam position sensor on your Toyota Tundra, located under the timing cover on the front of the engine. I'm going to use a 14mm wrench to remove the tension off the auto tensioner and remove the belt off of the AC compressor. Push down on the pulley, and we're going to remove the belt. I want to keep it mostly attached. Just want to take it off of the right side where we're going to be working. Just going to pull the belt up out of the way. We're going to undo the connector for the cam position sensor. This connector is usually attached to the front cover. Push on the little tab and pull up and disconnect it. This right here is usually attached to this front cover right behind here. To remove it, you just pull up and unclip it from it. Ours is broke, so we're unable to do that. Once the sensor is disconnected, pull it over to the side, out of the way. Using a 10mm socket, we're going to remove the bolt off of this coolant pipe right here. There's one more nut for the coolant pipe in the middle. Using a 10mm socket, we're going to remove that. It's in the middle of the timing cover. Remove that. We're going to pull the coolant pipe back off of the stud, just like that. Start to go around and remove the 4 10mm bolts for the timing cover. There's a little tab here holding on the cam sensor wire. Pop the wire out of that little plug. And we're going to pull the grommet out. You could use a trim tool or a small flat head. And we're going to pop this grommet out right here. Once it's off, you can remove it from the wire like that. There's a little slit in it. We're going to pull the coolant hose towards the front of the vehicle and remove the timing cover. Using a deep 10mm socket, we're going to remove the stud. Remove the stud. Remove the top bolt on the cam sensor. Remove the top bolt on the cam sensor. Remove the top bolt. Remove the sensor. Install the cam sensor onto the 2 dowels. Start the 10mm bolts by hand, making sure the cam sensor is lined up on those shoulders on that back plate. Give it a little wiggle, make sure it's not moving around at all. And we're going to install this one as well. Torque the cam bolts to 66 inch-pounds. Install the connector through the front timing cover. And install the grommet onto the wire. And we're going to line up our timing cover. Push the grommet all the way down. And before we install the grommet, we're going to put our 4 screws in around the timing cover. There's one on the bottom of the cover. It lines basically straight up with the circle in the front of it. Then I'm going to go around and snug all 4 of those bolts down. Follow that tight. It's going to be much easier to seat the grommet inside of the timing cover. Seat it inside of there. Make sure your connector is under the coolant pipe. You can drop it into that little clamp on the bottom of the cover. We're going to push the coolant pipe onto the stud, and then pull our connector up and over. Just like that. Put the little 10mm nut onto the stud. And then snug that nut down. Pull the harness back over. Connect the harness to the cam sensor. Push until you hear a click. Give it a little tug. Make sure it's actually connected. We're going to put our 10mm bolt back into the coolant pipe on the bottom, right here. And then snug it down. Install the serpentine belt. Follow this diagram. The 14mm wrench on the tensioner. We're going to push down to relieve the tension, and we're going to slip it over the air conditioning or the AC compressor. Give the belt a look over. Make sure it's sitting flat on all of the flat pulleys and inside of all the grooves on all of the grooved pulleys.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.